Right guys, hope you're doing well. This is Rowlands and I'm a nutritional balancing practitioner. And yeah, if you're listening to this channel for the first time, we basically talk about health, we talk about how to achieve your fullest potential, we talk about spirituality, God, and loads of specific health problems that the mainstream medical community don't seem to do a very good job at addressing. Things like adrenal fatigue, problems from medical drug usage, things like EMF sensitivity, brain fog, which is a big problem today. So if you're watching this, make sure you click subscribe, hit the bell button so you get all the notifications, and that would be great. However, in this video, what we're going to talk about is a couple of things that's really important to life in general, and it should be a sort of mantra that you live by really for the rest of your time on this particular plane, and that is to heal and then to do your service. So the first thing is healing. Now the planet is a sort of fallen planet, a sinful planet, if you want to look at it that way. A planet where humans have fallen away from natural law, the law of the universe, the law of God. And when you fall away from sort of natural law, what you get is problems, basically. And humanity's fallen, on and on and on and on and on and on. And this could be through sort of multiple lifetimes. So people have acquired what, in Buddhists would go call karma. The same thing you can see in Christianity, eye for an eye. And, that means a certain individual, a certain soul can have a lot of healing to do to basically rewind the whole process, so that they're pure and in alignment with truth and in alignment with what God intended the planet to be and how humans to live. So when you look at it from that perspective, the word healing suddenly takes on a much more profound term. To heal is to basically do the most important work you can possibly do, which is to try and return to the natural state that God intended us to be. And that natural state is actually way, way more powerful than people can really imagine, because we're spiritual beings. And the more we return to that way of being, that vibration, the more we will, be vibrating at a frequency not really of this earthly plane. So in order to heal, healing therefore is extremely important, because it's not just a physical selfish thing, I need to get myself better. This is like the work to do, the most important work to do. So that must be a person's first protocol. The first aim is to heal themselves, because afterwards then, once you have healed the vehicle, then your role is to basically serve other people, to help other people return back to that natural state. Now we would call that service to humanity, service to God. And basically what happens is, once you've healed the vessel to a certain extent, God will begin to draw out of you what he would like you to do. And that's based usually on your skills, your experience. It's based upon usually who you are as your own personality. And I think for me anyway, and I think for most people, it takes a while for that to sort of well up inside of you, to sort of bubble up that feeling of what you're supposed to do. And you might sort of get yourself into what you're supposed to do, but then that even builds upon itself. until you get to a point where you're doing something that's really, really excites your own soul. And generally, it's quite unique to you. I'm not saying this is for everyone, but in general, your own unique purpose is unique to you. So yeah, once you've sort of gone on your way of healing, service to humanity is the next thing. What you'll generally find is that whatever your service is, it could be, I suppose, a million different things. You will find that God's using you to try and bring the earth back to this, to the balance that it was originally intended to be in. So, so with that in mind, then we've got sort of a bit of a trilogy of God at the top of the pyramid, and then on one point of the pyramid would be your own healing, and then the other side of the pyramid would be the sort of healing of others, which can come in various different ways. You don't really necessarily need to be sort of being a healer. It could be helping people one way or another. But once you understand this trilogy, what you can begin to do is to put them at the forefront of your life. So as you probably heard me speak in a lot of videos recently about sort of different categories of life, there is certain things that you need to do in order to be sort of happy and healthy as a human, sort of things that God has instilled within us that makes us feel content, from sort of family to responsibilities to sort of creativity, friendship, for example. But these sort of are a little bit... So the best way for me to describe it is, in my mind, the most important thing that's on my mind every day is, am I doing the program, healing, and am I sort of working towards my purpose? And, sort of surrounding that bubble is this idea of sort of trying to listen to God, or at least trying to be in the space of God. And if people ring me up, or if I, meet someone in the street that might need help or whatever, I'm always trying to, take opportunities when I feel like opportunities have come my way for me to help someone. So that bubble, if you like, is sort of at the forefront of my mind. And then secondary to that, I've got my other sort of love tanks, which I've talked about in other videos, about sort of, going out with friends and making sure that love tank is filled, and sort of meeting family members and my grandparents, and making sure that sort of love tank's filled, and my community love tank's filled, and my sort of responsibility for other sort of beings that rely on me, that love tank's filled. So and I find that that's a great way to live for me. When you put them three things at the forefront of your mind, it's way more powerful than lowering them three things into the other categories as if they're all the same, because they're not. Them three things are the most important thing that you need to be thinking about. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and catch you all soon.